timeless voices of the eternal church.
Elizabeth Dirks, Netherlands, March 27, 1549. To elude the authorities, young Bible teacher Elizabeth Dirks took up residence in the town of Leeuwarden, in the home of Hedwig, a brave older woman who risked everything to harbor her. But the day finally came when the authorities smashed in the door and found Elizabeth with her Latin New Testament, a sure sign of what she had been doing. The council followed this evidence when interrogating her the following day. The Lords said to her, "We say you are a teacher, and that you seduce many. We have been told this, and we want to know who your friends are." Elizabeth responded, "My God has commanded me to love my Lord and my God, and to honor my parents. For what I suffer for the name of Christ is a reproach to my friends." The Lord said to her, "We will let you alone in regard to this, but we want to know who you have taught." Elizabeth responded, "Oh no, my lords, don't ask me that. Interrogate me concerning my faith, which I will gladly tell you." The Lord said, "We shall make you so afraid that you will tell us. What persons were present when you were baptized?" In confidence, Elizabeth answered, "Christ said, 'Ask them that were present or who heard it.'" The Lord responded, "Oh, so you're quoting scriptures. Now we know you are a teacher." When Elizabeth would not betray any of her fellow believers, they applied thumbscrews. "Help me, O Lord," she cried, "for you are a helper in time of need." The Lords all exclaimed, "Confess, and we will relieve you your pain, for we told you to confess, not to cry to God the Lord." But as Elizabeth refused to give up the names of her other brothers and sisters, the Lord took her pain away. Finally, on March 27, 1549, the magistrates condemned her to be drowned in a bag. Not tempted beyond what we can bear, Hedwig was arrested with Elizabeth and held in the same prison, though in another cell. As the guard escorted Elizabeth to her interrogation, he told Hedwig that her test would come the next day. Terrified that because she could not read, she would not be able to give good answers, or that she could not withstand the pain, she spent the day pleading with God. "Oh, loving Father, you know that I am weak and unfit for such a test." Then, recalling 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13, she said, "Please do not try me beyond my ability, but deliver me by your mighty hand." While she was praying, she heard a voice call, "Hedwig!" But looking around, she saw no one, so she continued praying. The second time she heard her name called, but again there was no one in her cell. Finally, the same voice said, "Hedwig, I tell you, come out." This time when she looked up, she found that the door to her cell was open. So she put on her hooded cape and walked all the way out of the prison unimpeded. But she didn't know where to hide, so she went to the church. There she heard that the gates of the city had been closed because a woman had escaped from prison, and a search has been made for her. She hid for a night in the attic room of an old acquaintance, who arranged her escape from the city the next day in a boat through the floodgate. Hedwig then fled to Emden, where she lived out the rest of her days in peace, in the meeting houses of the believers. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. he will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But if he doesn't, your majesty can be sure that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up. Daniel chapter 3, verses 17 to 18.
Reading from the complete book of Christian heroes, over 200 stories of courageous people who suffered for Jesus, compiled by Dave and Nita Jackson. This is the Eternal Church of Jesus Christ, the record.